Do you want a good return with your USDC or USDT or other stablecoins? If you leave it in a bank, maybe you get 1, maybe you get 2%. But on the blockchain, sometimes you can get more than 50%. Let me show you how. So here we are at Dupe.ag as per normal. Come up to the middle here and then go to Welcome to Solana. We've been here a few times. Let's get started and we can scroll on down. We want to have a look at right down the bottom, exploring Solana and exploring Solana apps. We've got a couple of great places like DeFi and liquidity. Specifically with DeFi, I'm going to show you something with Kamino Finance. Now we can also see it here on Twitter. There's a new stablecoin out. It's called PYUSD, and this relates to PayPal. We can see this tweet just came out just recently, and basically they're giving extra PYUSD incentives, $20,000 per week for people that are providing liquidity. So sometimes you've got situations like this where it's good to jump in early. That way you're getting more of a return. So let's click on this. And you can see it is decent. So we can just go to the website here, which is right here, Kamino.finance. Or my preference is if you follow the link directly from welcome.dupe.ag, Kamino. We're going to go and connect our wallet. I'll connect Solflare, but you can use whatever Solana wallet you like. Auto connect is fine by me. Connect. Now I've already got some positions in here in our portfolio section. We're providing some liquidity with Dupe and Sol, but we'll come back to that in another video. We want to go to liquidity here, then come down to the search bar, and we can just type in PYUSD. Here it is, PYUSD and USDC. Let's click on this. So as I mentioned, there's $20,000 per week. This is more than $1 million per year. Now, there is a max capacity of 10 million. So if this is maxed out, 10 million, then of course, it's going to be around 10% per year for the stablecoin. If we go to analytics, we can see the liquidity pool is very, very new. There's a little bit in fees. The volume is very, very minor, but this is a brand new liquidity pool. And we can have a look at my position and we can see the incentives APY is currently 66%. So I don't have a lot of USDC in this wallet, but I've got enough to show you. If we also had some PYUSD, we could go and deposit both of them as an example, something like this. However, I'm just going to go single asset. I'm going to deposit 30 USDC with single asset deposit and stake. And let's deposit the funds in. Let's trust this transaction. This may not go through because the wallet was unable to actually simulate the transaction, but we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, we'll just do it again. So I've had a little bit of difficulty depositing into this liquidity pool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do single asset deposit. Maybe there's too many transactions going through. I'm not really sure. Instead, what I want to do is I'm just going to go and deposit 20 PYUSD, and it's going to take some USDC as well. Deposit and stake, and let's see if this transaction goes through. This looks good. So it takes the PYUSD, takes some USDC, it takes some Solana for transaction fees and actually the account on the blockchain. And then what we get is a Kamino token. So we'll approve this, and that deposit went through. Now we can click on my position, and we can see in our farm overview, we've got some USDC and some PYUSD actually staked here, and it's generating some yield. So we will start to earn some incentives. Of course, the APY will drop as more and more people come into the liquidity pool. Then we'll be able to go and claim it, and then we can swap it, or we can go and add it back into the liquidity pool. So that's one example of how you can get decent yield on USDC and stablecoin liquidity pools, as long as you jump in early. There may be a time when all of a sudden it drops down to a yield less than 10% a year, and you may wish to actually pull it out. But we'll cover that in another tutorial. We'll catch you in the next tutorial.